Okay, we're down here in the main food forest area, still planting this out. It is late April now, kind of mid to late April. Just wanted to showcase where we're at right now as far as what's opening up, what's blooming, and some of the work that I've been doing, and also a couple new arrivals. So let's go. There's going to be a little bit of walking around, probably a little bit of camera movement. I'll try to not make it too crazy, but no promises. So over here we've got some white currant that is starting to open up. Looking nice. Behind it over here there's some more. Behind that over on the right is an elderberry, also waking up. Happy to see that. And in the foreground a hazelnut, which has buds on it but is not doing much yet. We'll swing around. Oh, my shadow's going to kill that light. There we go. So this is one of those white currants that is a little bit closer, so I don't have to walk across the creek. Come on. So you can see they are... Oh my god. There it is. So you can see they are looking pretty good. Happy to see them coming back. Alright. We've got some of the natives starting to pop off and do their thing. So across the way there is, of course, Pacific Trillium. Always stunningly beautiful. Starts off with those nice bright white flowers, and then those will perhaps darken to a pink. We shall see. And lots of, what is that, thimbleberry popping up, sprouting back from the root. Happy to have them coming back as well. Gonna spin around. You can see I've started to cut in some paths here. Adding stairs, which is nice. And you can see some of the new arrivals, but we're not there yet. This is one of these elderberries. Looking pretty good. Oh my god, the focus. The focus. Foreground, thank you. Oh my god. I understand the struggle now. Okay, well, you get the point. That is a York elderberry waking up. We've got more thimbleberry in the ground around it. And of course you might remember being out here planting some strawberries. Those are looking great. I would expect these to put on some flowers in a few weeks' time. I've got a hazelnut right behind them, which I'm going to swing around here to get closer to. So this guy, all of this, I think might be dead. But he's got a little shoot up from the root, so at least the tree is still alive. I'll take it, especially for the price that I got those at. And then right next to it is an American persimmon, which I think is alive. We'll see. I'm not going to scratch it or anything to find out. Around this way, got more of the same stuff. Again, not really a whole lot going on, although if we dip down here, oh, we can get a close-up on one of these trillium. Oh, it's a little bit goofy looking. That's probably because I was digging around in the soil right next to it. A little goofy, but still pretty. I've met a few people like that. So that's a pawpaw right behind it, still asleep, but it's got buds on it, so hopefully it'll wake up. This one right here, black currant. Looking good. Just so nice to see leaves. Sending new shoots up from the root too, which we love to see. That's how I'm going to be spreading these. More notes on that in a second. And then, of course, one of my favorites, despite its small stature right now, will grow into a big, beautiful tree someday. That is a chestnut. All right, back up to the top. We got to check on the new arrivals. So these are blue honeysuckle, Lonicera cerulea, or something along those lines. More commonly these days, I see them called honeyberry, or also hascap. Very excited to have these. Been looking forward to them. I did want to pick up some named varietals of these, which is what I've done. Right here I've got a borealis. These require genetically distinct pollinating partners. So you can't have two of the same plant if you want to get fruit. Well, you can, but you just have to have other. Yeah, you get the point. So these guys, though, I also am trying to start them from seed so that I will get a bunch of genetically distinct specimens that way. But I don't know how they're going to do. Nothing's germinated yet. So at the very least, I picked up two. And this is just such a big, beautiful bush. So this is what I wanted to point out here. Yeah, make all the jokes you want. That's fine. This is a tundra variety. And I got this for $40, $45, which is kind of a lot for an individual plant. But what we're really buying here is genetics. So now I have this tundra honeyberry here. And these plants respond extremely well to a technique called stool layering. So we're going to pack organic matter and probably some sand around the root ball here. And it's going to send out new shoots and new roots off of all of these stems. And then in a year or two, I'm going to be able to come out here and dig this up when it's dormant and cut them and separate them out into a whole lot of plants. And then you can do that over and over and over. That's actually what these are. So every tundra honeyberry is actually one plant. That's just clones. Same thing you see in a lot of commercial cultivation with apples and such. But we will be able to spread it around as much as we want. So $45 seems like a big amount for a single plant, but $45 for as many clones of this as I can make, that sounds a little bit better. I couldn't remember whether I uploaded any video of these avalanche lilies once they started blooming, so I'm just recording this little bit. This is, oh gosh, what is it? Erythronia grandiflorum, I think. I'm gonna get it wrong as soon as I start recording. That's how it goes. This is commonly called a yellow avalanche lily. They are, as you can see, stunning. They are early spring ephemerals. All they do is send up these two nice little leaves here, and then they send up a flower spike, sometimes with one flower, sometimes two, even three. But they are currently going off all over the hillside right now, looking quite nice, if I do say so myself. Very welcome in the food forest environment. I'm not going to be trying to move these or anything, except I might move these ones because they are in the path and surrounded by shell casings from an SKS for whatever reason. Who knows? So here is a golden currant. These are one of the native currants, and that's probably why it is most leafed out, although it's also just in a nice little spot. And you can see more of what I was talking about with some of these shrubby bushes. So while this is a currant instead of a honeysuckle, same thing. It's going to send up shoots from around the base there. And then eventually, I will be able to dig these up and get a whole bunch of additional plants out of each one of these individuals. Which would be really nice. These aren't like named varieties or anything, but all the same, allows you to propagate them out really quickly to plant out to large areas or for sale, which I'll be doing both. Also, it's really nice. It's really nice right now. And another wonderful fruiting shrub. These are Aronia. I don't remember the exact species. They're usually called chokeberry, though. That's their common name. And you can see they're actually doing the same thing, sending up little suckering shoots from the base. And I don't know whether I can parse these guys out, but I would assume that they respond similarly. Most little woody shrubs like this will do that happily. So if so, that would be great, because these are really lovely in the landscape, and I like chokeberry, real tasty. And birds love them, good wildlife habitat, nice to have shrubs around for birds. So I'll be spreading a lot of this stuff if I can. Yes, pollinate. It's got a native bee here. And one of the new arrival flowers. This is Hydrophyllum capitatum, I believe it is. Water leaf. They make these lovely little purple balls. And quite nice little leaves too. And I believe they're edible. I think the folks around here, the Salish people, used to eat the roots, if I remember correctly. Don't take my word for it, though. Well, the bee's moving on, and so shall we. Here we have a personal favorite. These are bluebells, Mertensia. I think I just knocked a guy off there. Sorry, guy. They just have the most lovely shade of blue. I believe that's Mertensia ciliata, I think. Biscuit root next to it. It's nice. And we are finally getting a bunch of these little guys popping up. So I am reasonably certain that that is a ponderosa pine seedling with the kernel still attached at the tips there. That's what it looks like anyway. And they are popping up all over, as I would expect the pondies to do. Following moose tracks up the hill. I don't have to worry that I'm stepping on anything if I'm following his tracks. He's already stepped on it, and he weighs a lot more than me. So if you see these little bits of pine cone piled up in the bottom of this hole here, you can tell a chipmunk or a squirrel was hanging out over here. And he forgot about his stash. A whole bunch of ponderosas coming up. So that does lead credence to my theory that those were ponderosa pines, or hypothesis, I should say. They do appear to be, and he stashed quite a few over here. There's another one just breaking the surface there, and then a whole bunch more. It's also possible that these just settled here. They're in low spots in the ground, but you can see these chunks of pine cone chewed away. That's what they do. And then they make their little stashes. Okay, well, check this out. I was coming up this way just to see if I could see anything new, and I did indeed find something new. So this is not an avalanche lily. It looks similar, but you can see different leaf structure. It's smaller, different color, different flower structure. So this is a relative of lilies. And I believe it's Fritillaria pudica. And that is the only one that I have seen so far, but they are pretty small plants, so it's possible that I've just walked past some of them that are not flowering yet. But pretty cool to see. So these blackened twigs here were all a big grove of mock orange, which I do not remember the scientific name to right now, so sorry about that. But I've come by and checked on them a few times to see if they were shooting back up from the root, and there was not a whole lot going on. Although now we do finally have a little bit going on right there. And then also, all around these guys, there are these little tiny seedlings, which look like they could be some mock orange coming back up from seed. Although it's so early, they could be a lot of things still. But I've noticed them all around these burned out mock orange. And then look, here's a big old bunch of them. And a ponderosa too. Oh, a couple of ponderosas. I did say they were coming up all over the place. So excited to see what these are. There are also other woody shrubs around that could be responsible for the regrowth. You can see a little bit of, I think that's ocean spray right there coming back up. And then there's some woods rose right there. So it could be those guys as well, or it could be something else entirely. But we will keep our eyes on it. I really hope it is the mock orange because they are such beautiful shrubs. Just get completely covered in big, beautiful white flowers that are so fragrant. These were huge shrubs here, and they were all up and down this area prior to the fire. I'll see if I can find some footage. I don't know if I took any. Maybe I took some stills. I can stick a still in here. All right, we're back up top now, and you can check out the annual garden because things are finally happening in the annual garden. That is some spinach seedlings there. And we'll zoom out a bit here. What else is going on? Got a little bit going on in the beets over here. You can see there's some weeds in here, and that's okay. But there's also some beets germinating. We've got onion sets starting to send up greens finally. They were just doing roots for a bit, which is good. More beets. More onions. There's lots and lots of onions. I've got lettuce, which you can see I just seed pretty heavily. And occasionally, you know, the moose walks through the annual garden, and nothing really to do about that. The moose goes where he wants. So yeah, I'm just excited that things are starting to finally happen. We'll do another video update once there's a few more things leafing out and blooming. All right, actually just a little bit more. Quick update on seed germination, because I did mention that I was trying to start some honeyberry. You can see there's a honeyberry. And unfortunately, it's going to be hard to get in there, I think. Nothing going on in the honeyberry yet, but we do have some other stuff that is happy. These are golden currant, and you can see lots of little seedlings in there, which is great. Again, genetic diversity. I will be cloning these, so having a lot of genetically distinct individuals to clone from is a good idea. Those are really hard to see, but there's a few sprouts in there. I also have some bigger greenhouse setup things here. And in here, this particular one, these are buffalo berry seedlings. It's a little windy, so I'm not going to have this open very long. But got buffalo berry popping up. They will be a great addition. Also had some success with sea berry germination. Not a whole lot yet, but some of them are starting to sprout. So again, great addition to the food forest. Sea berry, Hippophae rhamnoides, I believe. Probably way off on that. And then I think I've had some success in the service berry department too. Service berries were growing up here before. Nothing in that one, but I think... Oh yeah, that's the gray duct tape. Those are more recent. These ones have been in a little bit longer. Yep, there we are. Little serviceberry sprout. So serviceberry were growing up here prior to the fire, and I'm sure they will shoot back up on their own, but I did want to have some started in addition to that. And you can even see some places where I ran out of time, and nope, not that one. Those ones I've already planted. Where are we? Here it is. I knew it was one of the currants. And these guys were already sprouting, so I just stuck them in a big thing of soil all together, and we'll be able to separate those out eventually. But yeah, honeyberry, this is an older honeyberry pot, and yep, still nothing sprouting in there. Kind of a bummer. Hopefully they do something eventually. It's still pretty early in spring, so we shall see. Okay, I think that's it this time. Thanks for tuning in for the update, and I'll leave you with some pretty footage or something. Okay, bye.